Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to dive into one of the most incredible stories from the Bible. A story that still gives me chills every time I think about it. We're talking about the Wall of Jericho. Now imagine this, the Israelites have been wandering for 40 years, and they're finally on the verge of entering the Promised Land. This is the moment they've all been waiting for. God had promised this land to their ancestors, and now it was their turn. But there was just one massive, and I mean massive, obstacle standing in their way. The city of Jericho, the walls of Jericho weren't just tall. They were legendary. Thick, towering fortifications that seemed absolutely impenetrable. The people inside the city were so confident. They were probably laughing, thinking no army could ever break through. It was a daunting, almost terrifying sight. So what did their leader, Joshua, do? He didn't strategize with his generals. He went straight to God for guidance. And the plan God gave him? It was unusual. To say the least, God's instructions weren't about siege towers or battering rams, he said. You and your people are going to march around the city once every day for 6 days. Have the priests carry the Ark of the Covenant, and on the 7th day, you'll march around 7 times. Then the priests will blow their trumpets, everyone will shout, and I will deliver Jericho into your hands. I can only imagine the conversations that followed. Marching? We're going to defeat this fortress by walking? It sounded crazy. It defied all military logic. But here's the crucial part: they trusted God. That trust gave them a courage that went beyond human understanding. So for 6 long days, that's exactly what they did. They marched in complete silence around Jericho. The priests led the way, blowing their trumpets made from ram's horns with the Ark of the Covenant held high. The soldiers and the people followed behind, not uttering a single word. You can picture the scene from the walls of Jericho. The guards looking down, first confused, then amused. They were probably pointing, laughing, shouting, "Look at these fools, marching in circles. Is this their grand plan?" But the Israelites kept their focus. They weren't discouraged. They knew God had a plan, and their job was to obey, no matter how strange it seemed, each day. They completed their lap, their faith growing stronger with every silent step. Then came the 7th day. The air must have been thick with anticipation. This was the day God had promised a miracle. This time, they didn't march just once. They marched around the city 7 times, step by step, lap after lap, with the sound of the trumpets echoing in the air and their hearts pounding in their chests. After the 7th lap, everything paused. The priests blew one final, long blast on their trumpets. That was the signal. Joshua commanded the people to shout. And with every ounce of faith and energy they had, they let out a massive, unified roar. And then the impossible happened. The ground likely trembled. The mighty, unconquerable walls of Jericho began to crumble. Stone by stone, brick by brick, those massive fortifications didn't just break, they fell flat. The city that had seemed so impossible to conquer was suddenly wide open before them. Can you imagine the awe, the sheer disbelief on everyone's faces? They had just witnessed a true miracle. Their faith, their obedience, had brought down walls without a single sword being raised in attack. The story of Jericho became a powerful symbol for them, and it still is for us today. It's a reminder that no matter how impossible our challenges seem, nothing is too big for God. He doesn't always call us to fight with our own strength or worldly power. Sometimes he simply asks us to trust, to obey, and to have faith, even when the path doesn't make sense. That's what brings down the walls in our own lives, the walls of fear, doubt, anxiety, or any obstacle that seems insurmountable. This story isn't just about an ancient city with giant walls. It's about the incredible power of faith and what happens when we follow God's plan. So the next time you face your own Jericho, whatever that impossible-looking wall in your life may be, remember this story. Trust in God, follow His lead, and get ready to watch Him do something amazing. Thanks so much for watching today. If this story encouraged you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. I'll see you in the next video.